of Flower Circus. Today we're going to talk about the situation in Colombia together with Juan David and Jose now. Juan David is from Deliflor, Colombia. Jose is from Capiro. So I think it's good to directly start. If you have any questions, please ask them, fill them in the comments, and then we can answer them as well. First, I will invite Juan David. Juan David, welcome.
Thank you, John. Thank you for having us. And well, first, I want to thank you for having me and Jose to let people know a little bit about our situation. I also want to thank you, well, not only for having these webinars every day and giving us the opportunity to know what's happening and help us to understand how is the world dealing with this problem, but also I want to thank you for the great work that you're doing with the Flower Circus. It's an amazing and easy way to engage people around flowers. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you very much for the nice words.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with like the problem in Colombia. It's right now we have 1,065 cases, 17 deaths, and 39 recovered. So active we have around 1,010, 1,009.
Yeah.
Since Duke's policy, who sent us all us to a full curfew, that was in March 20th, and it's going so far until April 23rd, but it might be extended.
Yeah.
But we're not sure yet. So right now I'm going to tell you. So how is the consumption categories have changed in Colombia? So in March 2019, like the participation of the airlines was like 10%, and right now airlines have been dropped to a catastrophic 59%. This is commercial flights.
Wow.
And the second item was the supermarkets, where the participation was around 8%. Now supermarkets are the variation is like 99% up because everybody is buying some stuff that they don't actually need, but they are like 99% up. Then the other grocery, the drugstores are like 42% up. So while some stores are increasing their sales, some are not buying as much as we would like to.
Yeah.
In our case, flowers are being sold by the supermarkets, which is good. But right now, the people are going to the supermarkets not for the flowers, but for the other things. But still, some of them pick up flowers.
Yeah.
So Asocol is the association that gathers most of the growers in Colombia. They have been dealing with the Colombian government and managed to put flowers in the same segment as food. So it's an essential product. So flowers are part of the exception. So that means that we can get all the supplies and the employees can go to the farms, but all the farms are being responsible. They are taking the problem on their own hands.
Yeah.
And because they are not like a law from the government that they cannot go or the only half people can go. No, they are changing their usual way to do business with very interesting measures, such as like only 40% of the workers are going at the same time. Like the buses that are picking up buses are picking up the same amount of employees by day, but they have to do like 4 trips instead of 1 in order to. What that means that they can. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, sorry. So only 40% are going at the same time. So the buses are picking up the same amount of employees, but they have to do 4 trips instead of 1. So the bus is empty enough, so every worker can be in a whole line of seats with more than 6 feet away from each other. Which is what everybody, the OMS, is suggesting. They have alcohol and hand sanitizer before and after getting into every area. They have different terms to have breakfast, and lunch in the open areas, so nobody's next to, as you can see in the picture. So, and many other measures that Jose might extend on that topic before, because he's at the farm level, so he's got more information on this.
Yeah.
And talking about Azúcar Flores and Flowers of Colombia, they are having a campaign that starts. It's a little video of 30 seconds that is beautiful, and start with "Dear World, Can You See Us?"
Yeah.
We've always been there for you, and then the whole video is really nice. And then at the end, they said something that I'm gonna have to read that I got here. It says, "Today more than ever, we wish to bring you and your loved ones a message of hope. Allow us to bring smiles and harmony to the world. Never forget that we are here." So it's something nice and beautiful to tell the people that we're still here, still need you, and you need us. So, and then another, like, PMA, the Produce Marketing Association, which is the biggest association that gathers all the most supermarkets in the United States, actually in the world. And their campaign, it's Joy of Fresh, and they have another really beautiful that is called Bringing the Outside In. So, it's really cool. So all associations are working by themselves and also together for the same purpose. I mean, I never saw so much collaborations between all floral associations before. Before, I mean, like, they are not competitors here, and that's the way it should be. I mean, we have to be together in this industry. So if all the bad things this is bringing to the industry, this is going to help us to become better people, then this pandemic was not bad, was not all bad.
Yeah.
Well, and now I'd like to give you like an overview of the current situation based on the conversations that I've had with some colleagues.
Yeah.
And well, most floral events right now have been canceled, and like World Floral Expo that was supposed to be last week in New York City, they already postponed it for the next year. Colombian wise, the International Symposium of the Floriculture, which is an educational event for the production side, they already canceled the trade show. So no booths we're not gonna have any booths at that show. But I think the educational sessions are going to be online or something like that. PMA, the Produce Marketing Association that I told you about, they already canceled the two Floral Fresh Connections events that they have. It was supposed to have in May in Miami and June in Anaheim. So, as I told you, everybody's taking measures in order to protect their families and the world for that matter. One show that we're sure that we're going to have is in week 35 in August. It will be the second ever Chrysanthemum week. It's going to be the most important event for growers this year. I mean, for chrysanthemums, because we're having this. 9 breeders. We're going to have our varieties showing the same week, and then in the middle of the week we might have a big event with supermarkets of the United States, depending on how this situation evolves. So Colombia is still sending flowers to USA, Canada, Japan, Korea. China is picking up, but the freights are going up too. Easter is almost canceled. Mother's Day, we have high hopes on it, and we can do it through the Plan Pétalo. The Plan Pétalo is it's something that I think it started like 15 years ago by Azúcar Flores. It's conceived and led by Azúcar Flores. It's a security and coordination device with authorities and the logistic to prevent illicit, especially those related to contamination and theft of flowers. So the farms here in Colombia, as I know, they are working on 40 to 50%, but depending on what kind of customers they have. So like most wholesalers are closed because the wholesalers usually they are in big squares with a lot of people, so they had to cancel that. So not all of them are open. I mean, not all of them are closed, but most of them are closed. Big mass market stores such as Sam's Club, Costco, they are still open. Well, in the case of Europe, like Macro, right?
Yeah.
They are open, but the people that goes there, well, on this pandemia, they don't care about flowers. They just are gonna go buy some canned goods. Flowers are the last thing in their minds. If they're gonna buy flowers, they go to the supermarket. So they're not selling a lot of flowers, and actually they cancel almost 80% of their orders.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's challenging. California, I mean, supermarkets are still open and still working, and they are still they most of them have all their orders still there. So this is like a relief for some of the growers. And California, some farmer markets, which is wholesale, are still, but the most important ones are closed. And these are the San Francisco and Los Angeles. They are closed. So some trucking companies that live out of the wholesalers had to close too, because there are no business there. So this is like more or less everything I had to tell about this. Well, something I got some other stuff, but I can add, and because this is being hosted by you, John, and in your flower circus, I'm gonna wear the flower circus attire as well.
It suits
And
you
now
well.
I'm gonna leave you with Jose Manuel. That's the commercial director of Capiro, and to give his insights.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe he has a red nose as well.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, but this one is fake. He's got
Okay.
yeah.
So Jose, thank you for joining us as well. So first of all, how are you?
Hello, John. Thank you for having me and inviting me. I'm doing well. I'm not sick, so that is the important thing. But overall, doing well, and my family and friends are also doing well.
Okay, good to hear. Yeah. So tell me more about Capiro. I found out that you were Grower of the Year 2 years ago, of the AIPH Grower of the Year. And what does a Grower of the Year do now when coronavirus strikes?
Okay, Capiro is mainly a chrysanthemum grower. We grow spray varieties, single bloom varieties, and Santini varieties. We also have a little bit of hydrangeas, not big. Okay. We're an 86 farm chrysanthemum grower. Yes, 2 years ago we won the award, the AIPH award, which is important for this moment because it's a sustainability award more than let's say you have a wonderful product or whatever. They also look into your company and what are you doing for sustainability. And this is the right moment for sustainability. As Juan David was mentioning, we have a total lockdown in Colombia. Airports are closed. They're closed at the moment until May 31st. So there are no commercial flights coming into Colombia or outside Colombia or flying inside Colombia.
Yeah.
So that is challenging, and the total lockdown means that a lot of people have to stay home. But as Juan David emphasized, the flower industry was considered agriculture essential.
Yeah.
So we're allowed to move around with our workers and ourselves and so on. But also the responsibility becomes very high because they let us do it, but we need to be very responsible.
Yeah.
So in terms of transport of the people, we have to lower the amount of people per bus. So a bus can only take 50% of the flowers. Give me 1 second. Sorry for that.
No, bro.
Uh,
So they can only
So-
take half of the people in the bus.
yeah, half of the people in the buses, and we need to keep distance. All the employees have to keep a distance of 1.5 meters. And the government, I wouldn't say the government, but everybody's looking at us. If we're doing well, if there's a case of coronavirus inside there, they're going to blame us. And we've seen it. A lot of workers are very thankful for the situation. They're saying, look, we need to sustain our families. So labor is a challenge in that sense, taking care. Everybody gets checked every day, not checked with a medical test, but temperature, if they have symptoms or whatever. So we were very much aware of what's going on. Then it becomes the challenge of marketing flowers around the world, which is it's the difficult one. Capiro is a global, again in sustainability, we are a global supplier. Our main exports are via sea containers. 80% of our flowers go sea freight, and we go to different markets. For example, the Chilean market is very important for us, but it's completely 100% down. And the main reason is because the Chilean market doesn't, majority of the flowers, I would say 90%, go through the wholesaler market to florists, and they distribute to cemeteries, parties, weddings, so on. And they close the cemeteries in Chile, not meaning that you cannot die, but people cannot go and mourn their relatives that died. So it's allowed. There are no weddings. There are no social events. So the market is done. And the flower section of, so for example, in Santiago de Chile, has a total lockdown. So in that sense, we are completely closed. The case of Australia, 70% of our flowers or 80% of our flowers go to the retailers, to supermarkets like Coles, Woolworths, Aldi that is there. So people are still going to the stores. Of course, there's less demand because they are prioritizing other goods, and also money spending. I mean, if I see it in my case, I go to the supermarket once a week, but the only thing that I look for is food, because you need to take care of the money. So that's my belief, and I think that's what is happening around the world.
Europe looks a bit different. You can see, I spoke yesterday with somebody who's supplying the retail in Holland, and she told us that sales were going up. Also because a lot of people only are allowed to go out to the supermarket, or they only allow themselves to go to the supermarket. So that's why they started to buy more, and also not only groceries, but also flowers.
Yeah, it is. People will get, I will get also to the point, okay, I have enough food, and I can also spend a bit that. And if I have to stay home and I have flowers that make my house nicer next to rice, beans, potatoes, or whatever, well, buy them. So it will happen as well. We see it in the United States as well, because as Juan David emphasized, Eastern is a total down for us. We mainly lost the event, but Thursday is picking up, and we believe that people will buy flowers for Mother's Day, but in the supermarkets, not in the florists. So again, we go back to the wholesaler market. We see it very, very, very slow, almost to nothing. Capita is not selling anything to them. However, we have orders for supermarket. Walmart in the United States, for example, ordered 100% and decided to go sea freight as well, because air freight, people are concerned because the lead time from shipping until arrival in sea freight is very risky nowadays, because everything is changing minute by minute, hour by hour. So it makes it very challenging. But not having commercial flights and restriction of air freight and restriction of cargo, the air freight went up 30% to the United States. To other markets, for example, to Japan, went 100% up. So it's not. To give you an idea, yesterday we had to pay for a local domestic transport in Miami that we usually pay $50. We paid $200 to move a flower of pallet.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's the time to look for everything that we did for sustainability. What can we do? What can we do better? It's not the year for profitability, profits. It's or renting or whatever. It's the year to survive.
Yeah.
Be sustainable, survive, be strong, learn what you learned in the past. We had an exchange crisis for 10 years where the dollar weakened. Nowadays is the opposite. We have a very good dollar for the exchange rate, but inflation is crazy. So it's challenging and where to look. We have other situations. For example, in the UK, we have a very important supermarket called Morrison's.
Yeah.
Produce and pack their own flowers. And they decided to shut down their site to produce food. So they do want to sell flowers, but they don't have where to. So it's a new challenge. Where are we going to do it? So we're busy with that. I would say that sales for us are down by a 50%. We took for that. We lower our production, but we're also looking, the world this has to end. So we have to look in the long term. We're planning in the long term. It's very hectic, very busy, very long hours every day. A little bit boring because working from home, it's not my, I like the agriculture. I like to go outside. I like to see the fields. I like to see that. And being like four walls the whole day, it's tough.
Yeah.
But we're going to survive it.
Yeah, I think so. So, but so in England said they prioritize on food. You're looking at it. Is it a possibility that you are going to make the bouquets yourself already in Colombia, or?
I don't see it yet that we're going to see the bouquet. I see it as a possibility, medium term, that we're going to do consumer bunches, meaning a bunch ready to be sold in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
There is a question from Patrick asking about internet sales. I'm very well, by the way, Patrick. And internet sales is something that we have not entered. Nonetheless, I've spoken with some colleagues, and they say that the internet is busy, and I think that is the right and smart way to go.
Yeah,
I will say a personal case. My brother works with he sells chips and snacks through the internet, and last month he sold what he sold the whole last year through the internet. So definitely people are scared to go out of their house.
Yeah.
So people are ordering to their house. So we need to improve the supply chain of flowers, because it's not the same to send a cell phone over the delivery at home than flowers, because the flowers need to be arrive there on time, fresh and good.
Yeah.
There are methods, expensive of course, but we need to find that way. But I think it is the way to go. Capiro is not in that, but some colleagues, for example, Elite is very busy on that, and they are being successful.
Yeah, but also I think for florists, it's if you haven't had a web shop yet, you really need to start it, because actually you're already too late now. Yeah, you see in other countries that the florist with a good web shop, they are selling actually quite good, or and the other florists have to shut down or making a big losses. So yeah, the world is going to change anyway, and we need to adapt on the new situation.
Definitely, the world is going to change, and there are a lot of theories and mathematics and statistics. And for example, I've spoken with some UK partners, customers, and they are saying that after the crisis, flower sales are going to go up, because traditionally, after every crisis, people cannot afford to buy jewelry, or cannot afford to fly or go travel or so on. So
Yeah.
flowers is a luxury item. So, and it's cheap, so people will buy. So that's what they say. We've never been through this crisis. I mean, yeah,
Not as big as this.
pandemics,
Yeah.
but our generation, meaning millennials, centuria, whatever, X, whatever, has not lived this situation. So let's see what it was. And I think people will end up buying flowers. The question is how what how much will the demand of flowers specifically will fall. We know that cars will fall probably 60 or 70%. What I've heard from the UK market is that flowers will drop down by a 70%. Now the question comes, how many growers, I hope we are in that list, will survive? That's the other part. So it is a challenging moment for the present and for the future. How to plan, what to do, and see on that. We see that I've just spoken with a customer in the US, and he got 100% of his orders for Mother's Day. So it means people are buying.
Yeah. No, and they have trust in the future, and especially I think the retail will profit in the short term. Because supermarkets have to stay open.
Correct.
Yeah. In terms of sustainability, I saw you were helping all the workers as well. Because I found this picture. Can you tell what we see over there?
Okay, that is. We have a lot of people that make. We pay above the minimum wage of allowed in Colombia, but still, it's expensive. And what we see with our employees and in the region is that Colombia, the government, when kids are at school, they give breakfast and lunch to the kids. But now kids are at home, so the families have to pay for breakfast and lunch. And people were saying that it's very difficult because, number one, what I explained, inflation went up, and now they have to feed 3, 4 kids, 2 kids, whatever.
Yeah.
So we have a workers fund, an employees fund, and we distribute it to all the people that make less than 2 minimum wages a month. Gets a package with food and toiletries and things like that.
Okay.
So it's a big effort, but it's an important effort because people need to survive. Right now, of the total lockdown, we have more than 50%, 60% of the population that leave whatever they make on the day. That is the way they make their living. So they're not really staying on the streets. So it's challenging. So as Capiro, we help our people. And as the association, we are helping as much as we can. Also, we sponsored a clinic with intensive care unit and everything. But people need to eat. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's need to eat and have a safe home.
Correct.
That's the most important things.
Okay.
So you also start a campaign yourself to promote the flowers?
We want to show the positive. We want to show the good spirit of life. The flowers can help. Look, that has been our campaign, changing what we say. Flowers make you feel better. Flowers help the heart. Why waste all that? Let's continue with the positive attitude. Why, if a bunch of flowers, very nice bouquet, a beautiful bouquet that you look at it every day, and it shows wonderful, then why not have it at home? And why are we going to lose so many years that we worked on that? Let's continue with that. It has worked, so let's go for it. Every day we send a small message to all our customers in English and in Spanish. Keep on. We are here, and we're going to be here for a lot more time.
Yeah, I think we need to. We will survive this one as well. I mean, and we have to stay positive. It doesn't help if we sit down in a corner and wait until everything is over, because the world is changing. We have to adapt so we can even get stronger out of this.
Probably we all are going to get sick eventually. Who knows?
Yeah. Actually, the woman I spoke yesterday, she had the virus, so you can see that it's
You're looking a little
very
bit.
close. I'm it's already late at my so that's why.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this one I already showed. You also made a nice movie, which I will show at the end of the live stream. So another question that I had, you were talking about the air freight, that was down, of course, a lot. With sea freight, is it also down, or is it still on a reasonable level?
Fortunately, with us, when we shipped to the UK, we shipped in the banana boats, and
Yeah.
banana business and avocado business, I understand, is steady, is going, so the boats are working.
Okay.
We don't have an issue to Australia. It is shipping without any problem. And same thing for Japan, is working very well. The Japan business has increased for us because Japan produces 80% of their own croissants.
Yeah.
They're 20% they imported mainly from Vietnam and Malaysia, and
Yeah.
there are no flights from Vietnam and Malaysia. It's completely
Okay.
gone. So sea freight is working for us in that sense.
Yeah.
A big component of the freight is fuel.
Yeah.
And we've seen the oil prices. It's been the lowest we've ever seen. So it's crazy. I was reading an article today that they don't know where to store more oil. So in that sense, it's working.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like you said, if Vietnam is closing or not closing, but doesn't have any flights to Japan, yeah, that's for you. That's an opportunity again.
Again, opportunities come up. I was
Yeah.
talking with a Japanese customer. He was saying that in Malaysia they're talking about doing sea freight. His personal opinion says, I don't believe in it, because why didn't they do it before?
Yeah. And if you have to test it and everything, it's already too late to start it in a good way.
Correct.
Actually, somebody last week told me money doesn't evaporate; it just moves. So where
My
somebody is losing money,
used to say, money doesn't disappear. Somebody
yeah,
has.
yeah. So you're losing it, and the guy who did the transport for $200 made some extra money. That's how it goes.
Yeah, but things are costing more. So that, I
Yeah,
think the money is gone with costs. But I don't know. We have to find and analyze every day. It's a busy moment.
yeah, it is. Actually, I will ask JG to come with us as well. Hi, JG. Do you have something to add?
Well,
To
on something that you said before, that about the air freight that going down, the air freight is not going down. From here, it's going up, really up, because I mean, only
Yeah.
the dollar. I mean, we need to pay more pesos for
Yeah.
every dollar right now. It's like 30% more. So, and that goes to the air freight too. So it's more expensive. And and another thing that I wanted to say, it's there are some research, proven research from Rutgers University and Harvard University that proves that flowers make you happy. So what everybody in the industry has to do is that we have to consider this a primary necessity, and not everybody considers flowers as a primary necessity, and that's why floriculture has suffered so much during this crisis. So now more and more initiatives are being undertaken to stress the importance of the flowers during in this business. And like if you are around flowers, you're not gonna get depressed, and all this stuff that all the associations are using to to determine what countries are doing the good practices and everything. So I think that's where we have to be together. And if we are
Yeah.
together doing all this stuff, I think when we get out of this pandemia, everybody's gonna be like happy with each other. Hey, remember when you helped me out? And we're not gonna
Yeah.
see each other as competitors anymore.
No, you were talking about all the studies. I will put all the results or the list of all the studies. I will put on our website tomorrow. So everybody who hasn't found it yet, it's going to be on our website. I already actually used it today, or Flower Circus used it today as well. One of the studies to show people, look, people really feel better when they've got flowers at home. So don't stop doing it after the corona epidemic, but also after it, because if you're already feeling good, can you imagine an extra 20%?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I want to thank you both for being in our live stream. It was great. I learned a lot. Hopefully the people who looked at the web or the live stream as well.
John, you're more than welcome to share my email if for further questions or everything.
Yeah. Okay. I already see one girl also asking for your telephone number. Is that also okay?
That's usually. I think my wife is watching this, so could you add
okay. Yeah, I will send it later. Okay, thank you for joining both. And as promised, we will end this live stream with the movie or the video of Capiro, in which they also show the studies that flowers improve your health. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, John, for having.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. Tomorrow we will be back from China, or we'll not be in China, but Peter Curtis is there on the market in Kunming. Hope to see you tomorrow, and stay safe.